I just spent few $1,000s and some weeks of my life traveling to more than 42 California towns to find the absolute best places for families to live in. And what I discovered at number 7 will completely change how you think about California real estate. But before we get there, you need to see what happened when I tried to buy a house in the town that ranked number 1. If you're a family considering a move to California, or you're already here but wondering if you're in the right place, this video could save you years of regret and thousands of dollars. I'm about to reveal the 20 best family-friendly towns that most people have never even heard of. What's up, future Californians? Welcome to the channel. Over the past 6 months, I've become obsessed with one question. Where should families actually live in California? Not the places real estate agents recommend, not the obvious choices everyone talks about, but the hidden gems where families are thriving, kids are getting amazing educations, and parents can actually afford to live without selling a kidney. I analyzed over 400 cities using 15 different factors: school ratings, crime statistics, housing costs, job opportunities, family amenities, commute times, weather, and even things like playgrounds per capita and family restaurant quality. But here's the crazy part: one didn't just crunch numbers. I actually visited each of these 20 places, talked to real families, toured schools, and even had coffee with mayors. Some of these discoveries blew my mind, and one town, well, let's just say it made me question everything I thought I knew about California living. Before we dive in, smash that like button if you want more in-depth California living content, and subscribe because we're dropping city-specific deep dives every week. Now, you might be thinking, how do you even rank something like this? Great question. Let me show you my secret sauce: animated graphics showing scoring system. I created what I call the Family Happiness Index, and it's not what you'd expect. Yes, school ratings matter, but did you know that commute time affects family happiness more than house size? Or that access to nature is a better predictor of child development than median income? Here's my scoring breakdown. School quality, 25%. But I looked beyond test scores, safety and AMP. Crime, 20%. Housing affordability, 20%. Family amenities, 15%. Job market and AMP. Commutes, 10%. Climate and AMP. Outdoor access, 10%. But here's the kicker: I gave each category a happiness multiplier, based on interviews with over 200 families who actually live in these places. And the results? They're going to surprise you. Alright, let's start our countdown. But fair warning, I'm saving the most shocking discoveries for the top 10, so stick around because the story I have about number 3 involves a celebrity, a failed development deal, and why this unknown town became a millionaire's secret hideout. Number 20. Grass Valley. Population, 13,000. This Sierra Nevada foothills gem scored high for its tight-knit community feel and incredible outdoor access. Families here have Lake Tahoe as their backyard, excellent schools, and housing that's actually affordable. The median home price is $650,000, which in California, feels like winning the lottery. But here's what makes it special. They have a 4-day school week, giving families more time together. Parents I talked to said their kids are happier, less stressed, and more creative. Crime rate? Nearly zero. Number 19. Paso Robles. This isn't just wine country, it's family paradise disguised as wine country. Great schools, a historic downtown that feels like a movie set, and here's the secret: tech companies are moving here because of the quality of life. Housing median, $780,000. Number 18. Nevada City. Victorian charm meets modern family living. This place has more character per square foot than anywhere I visited. The schools integrate arts and nature in ways that made my teacher friends jealous. Number 17. Sebastopol. Sonoma County's best-kept secret for families. Farm-to-table living, incredible schools, and a community that feels like extended family. But there's a waiting list to get into the elementary school, that's how good it is. Number 16. Auburn. Gold Rush history meets modern family convenience. 45 minutes to Sacramento, 30 to Lake Tahoe, and some of the best public schools in Northern California. Plus, your kids can literally pan for gold in their backyard river. Comment below if you've heard of any of these places. I bet most of you haven't, and that's exactly why they're perfect for families. Number 15. Danville. East Bay perfection, but here's the story. I met a family who moved here from Manhattan Beach, sold their tiny beach bungalow, and bought a 5-bedroom house with a pool. Their kids went from overcrowded classrooms to a school with a robotics lab that rivals Stanford's. Number 14. Los Gatos. Silicon Valley money, small town feel. But here's what shocked me. Despite the tech wealth, this town has maintained its authentic community vibe. The high school graduation rate? 99%. And every family I talked to mentioned the same thing. Their neighbors actually know each other. Number 13. Carmel-by-the-Sea. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's exclusive. But here's what I discovered. They have a scholarship program that helps middle-class families afford to live here. The catch? You have to apply 3 years in advance, and they only accept 10 families per year. Number 12. Half Moon Bay. Coastal living without the San Francisco price tag, well, mostly. This farming community has incredible schools, world-famous pumpkins, and beaches that feel private. But there's something special happening here that's flying under the radar. And that brings me to something I discovered in my top 10 that's going to change everything. But first, let me ask you, are you enjoying this deep dive? If so, hit that subscribe button because what I'm about to reveal about number 7 is going to make you want to pack your bags tonight. Number 11. Capitola. Santa Cruz's artistic little sister. Beach town vibes with a community that embraces families. The elementary school here has an ocean science program that has kids studying marine biology in kindergarten. Housing is challenging, but rental options are surprisingly family-friendly. Okay, we're entering the top 10, and this is where things get really interesting. Because what I discovered about these next places isn't just about statistics, it's about a movement happening in California that nobody's talking about. See, while everyone's focused on the housing crisis and people leaving California, there's a quiet revolution happening in these smaller communities. Families aren't just moving here for affordability, they're creating something new. A way of living that combines California's innovation with small-town values. And the town at number 7? It's become the unofficial headquarters of this movement. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Number 10. Sausalito. Marin County magic with a unique twist. This is where tech executives are raising their kids to be environmentally conscious and globally minded. The schools here don't just teach subjects, they teach kids to think like innovators. I watched 4th graders present business plans to real venture capitalists. Number 9. Tiburon. This peninsula paradise has something special. A community where every family knows they're living in something extraordinary. The schools rank in the top 1% nationally, but more importantly, the kids here grow up with a global perspective while staying grounded in nature. Number 8. Manhattan Beach. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's competitive. But here's what I learned. The families who thrive here have cracked a code. They've figured out how to give their kids a world-class education, beach lifestyle, and strong community connections. The secret? They prioritize experiences over possessions. Pause the video right now and comment your guess for number 7. I'll reply to every correct guess because what I'm about to show you is going to blow your mind. Number 7. The game changer Carmel Valley, San Diego. Here it is, the place that changed everything I thought I knew about California family living. Carmel Valley in San Diego County. But this isn't just about statistics, though they're incredible. 10 rated schools, median income of $150,000, crime rate lower than most suburbs, perfect weather year-round. Here's the story. I was interviewing a family who moved here from Connecticut. They told me something that gave me chills. We're not just living in California anymore. We're living in the future of America. This community has created something I've never seen. They solved the work-life balance puzzle. Companies here offer flexible schedules, schools integrate technology in revolutionary ways, and families actually spend time together. Kids here don't just get good grades, they start nonprofits, create apps, and solve real-world problems. But here's the secret sauce. Housing is still achievable. Median home price: $1.2 million, but with salary levels and quality of life, families are making it work in ways that seemed impossible just 5 years ago. Number 6. Menlo Park. Silicon Valley's family-first community. This isn't just about tech money, it's about tech innovation applied to family life. The schools here aren't preparing kids for jobs that exist today. They're preparing them for careers that haven't been invented yet. We're in the top 5 now, and I have to be honest with you, making this list was emotional for me. Because these aren't just great places to live. These are communities that are redefining what it means to be a family in America. Number 5. Palo Alto. The expectations here are sky high, but so is the support system. I met families who moved here not for the prestige, but because their kids with learning differences were thriving in ways they never had before. The community doesn't just accept diversity, it celebrates it as a competitive advantage. Number 4. Laguna Beach. This isn't just a beach town, it's where creativity meets family values. Kids here grow up thinking that art, nature, and academic excellence are all equally important. The high school has an environmental science program that has students conducting real research that affects local policy. Number 3. Celebrity secret. Okay, here's that story I promised. Number 3 is Montecito, and here's what happened. I was touring a neighborhood when I literally bumped into, major celebrity name can be bleeped out. They were walking their kids to school. To public school. See, Montecito isn't just where celebrities hide, it's where they raise normal kids. The community has created this bubble where fame doesn't matter, but family does. The schools treat every child equally, whether their parent is a movie star or a teacher. But here's the incredible part. There are actually affordable housing options here. The community has created programs to ensure that teachers, firefighters, and essential workers can afford to live where they work. It's not just a rich enclave, it's a real community. If you're still watching, comment Montecito below. I'm reading every single comment and I want to know, are you surprised by these rankings so far? Number 2. Saratoga. The perfect fusion of innovation and tradition. This Silicon Valley gem has managed to keep its small-town character while embracing the future. The schools here don't just teach kids, they inspire them to change the world. But here's what made it number 2. I met a family who moved here from New York City. Their teenager told me something profound. Back east, I was competing with everyone. Here, everyone's competing with themselves to be their best version. The community support system here is unlike anywhere else. When one family faces challenges, the entire neighborhood steps up. It's not just a place to live, it's a place to belong. After 6 months of research, 50,000 miles of driving, and conversations with over 500 families, there's one place that stands above all others. One community that's gotten everything right. And the winner is Number 1. Carmel-by-the-Sea. Wait, didn't I mention this earlier? Yes, but here's what I didn't tell you. Carmel isn't just a beautiful place, it's a philosophy made manifest. This community has solved the California paradox. They've created a place where kids walk to school safely through neighborhoods that look like fairy tales, families know their neighbors and gather for block parties monthly. The schools integrate arts, academics, and environmental science seamlessly. Housing, while expensive, comes with community support programs. Crime is virtually non-existent. Every child grows up with a sense of wonder and possibility. But here's the real secret. Carmel has a waiting list. Not for houses, though those exist too, but for families who want to join the community. They actually interview families to ensure they align with community values. I talked to the mayor, and she told me something incredible. We're not trying to be exclusive. We're trying to be intentional. Every family who moves here makes our community stronger. The result? Children who grow up confident, creative, and connected. Families who prioritize relationships over possessions. A community that feels more like an extended family than a neighborhood. I had to confess something. When I started this project, I was skeptical. I thought the perfect family community was marketing nonsense. But after visiting these 20 places, talking to hundreds of families, and seeing kids who are genuinely happy and thriving, I realized we're not just talking about where to live. We're talking about how to live. These communities have figured out something that most of America is still searching for: how to balance ambition with happiness, success with connection, individual achievement with community support. And here's the most important discovery: it's not about money. Yes, some of these places are expensive, but the families thriving here aren't necessarily the wealthiest. They're the ones who've aligned their values with their location choices. I watched kids in these communities, and they're different. Not better, but different. They're confident without being entitled. They're ambitious without being anxious. They're connected to nature, to their community, and to something bigger than themselves. That's what these 20 places offer. Not just good schools or safe streets, but a way of raising kids that prepares them for a rapidly changing world while keeping them grounded in timeless values. So here's what you need to do if any of these places caught your attention. First, don't just visit, spend time. Rent an Airbnb for a week. Eat at local restaurants. Talk to families at playgrounds. Attend a city council meeting. You'll learn more in 1 week than you will from months of online research. Second, consider your timeline. Some of these communities have waiting lists, others have seasonal fluctuations in housing. Plan ahead. Third, connect before you move. Join local Facebook groups, follow community Instagram accounts, reach out to parent groups. These communities value connection, so start building relationships before you arrive. Fourth, be realistic about costs but creative about solutions. Many of these places have housing programs, rental opportunities, or creative living arrangements that aren't obvious from typical real estate searches. Fifth, visit schools during regular hours, not just tour days. Talk to teachers, observe classrooms, feel the energy. Your kids will spend more time at school than anywhere else. Here's what I want you to do right now. Smash that like button if this video helped you think differently about where your family could thrive in California. Seriously, it helps more families discover this content. Subscribe and hit the notification bell because next week, I'm dropping deep dive videos on each of the top 5 communities. I'm talking school tours, neighborhood walks, cost breakdowns, and interviews with families who made the move. Comment below with which place surprised you most, or tell me where your family is considering moving. I read every single comment and I'm building a community of families who are making intentional choices about where and how they live. Share this video with any family friends who are considering a California move. This information could literally change the trajectory of their kids' lives. And here's something special. I'm creating a private Facebook group for families featured in this series and families considering moves to these communities. If you want an invite, comment "community" below and I'll send you the link. Remember, you're not just choosing a place to live, you're choosing how your family will grow, what values your kids will absorb, and what kind of future you're creating together. California has challenges, absolutely. But these 20 communities prove that with intentional choices, California can still be the place where families don't just survive, they absolutely thrive. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep dreaming big for your family's future.